This just in, new Shedeur Sanders trade rumors, reports from CBS Sports insiders. We're going to look at everything on today's show, but I want your opinion in the comment section first. After Deshaun Watson was named the Browns starting quarterback, do you think that Cleveland should trade Shedeur Sanders? If you think yes, type Y for yes in the comment section. If you're like, no way, no how, we can't have Watson for the full season going, and then Dillon, Gabriel, type N for no in the comment section. But let me know your opinion down below, and let's get into the reports. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Browns Report presented by Prize Picks. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue, and CBS Sports insiders talk to NFL front offices about Shedeur Sanders, okay? Their opinions on him as a player and trading for him, and even a report about his character towards the end of the show. And, some of these aren't great. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is what CBS insider Matt Zenitz found. First, he talked to some front offices, and some front office officials from multiple NFL teams told CBS Sports they wouldn't have interest in trading for Sanders even if he was available. Do you really want to deal with that, especially with someone who's not your starting quarterback? A front office staffer said. And CBS continued by saying the noise that comes with Shedeur Sanders being on your roster is a part of why he slid in the draft so far, okay? The report, again, saying that NFL front offices didn't want to, quote, deal with having Shedeur's all the media attention when he's not the starter on those teams. And though there were some positives said about Shedeur Sanders, and I've seen positives in his play to the point where I do think there is potential into, but the reports from this article get even worse. And it says there aren't many, if any, front office staffers that view him as an NFL starting caliber quarterback. Him not even being able to beat out Deshaun, who hasn't played in an NFL regular season game since his first Achilles injury in 2024, is probably telling, an NFL front office staffer told CBS Sports. Well, first of all, I disagree with the whole, this is telling that he lost that. Watson is a 10-year vet with $230 million guaranteed reasons to start him week one, and he just barely beat out Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur had closed the gap, according to Monken and every report around the Cleveland Browns training camp, okay, of a battle that was always going to be Watson's to start. So I don't think that is as telling as that report may suggest. And I also think Shedeur Sanders will start at some point this season. Watson's never been good for Cleveland as a quarterback. The fans hate him, and he's never been healthy for a full season. So I still think Sanders will get his opportunity, and you can't go from starting Shedeur week one to benching him for Watson. If anything, it always had to be the other way around. But many reports did suggest this opinion from front offices around the league that they don't see Shedeur as a starting caliber quarterback in this league from a talent perspective. And there was a report that many who are around Shedeur would describe him as likable and genuinely being of good character. I have heard that a lot, that the players love him, the locker room loves him, okay? And I actually think that a lot of the players, and especially the Browns fans, wanted Shedeur to be the starter over Deshaun Watson. But unfortunately, and I don't know if this was the owner, Jimmy Haslam, with the influence because of the contract, right? I mean, think about it. We'll dumb it down here because Jimmy Haslam's a billionaire, but like, if you were paying somebody thousands of dollars and the other guy $100, wouldn't you be inclined to start the one that coming out of your own pocket is getting paid significantly more money? I think that probably factored in for Jimmy Haslam, wanting Monken to start Watson. And I actually have a theory that Monken in his job interview said, yeah, I could start Watson if you need me to. I could make it work with any quarterback. And Haslam said, all right, it'll be Watson's. Make it work. And so some more reports about Shedeur Sanders coming up in just a moment here, including Skip Bayless with a wild trade idea. Yeah, plenty more to look at here about number 2. But before that, I do want to show you guys a new Prize Picks lineup I have cooked up for tonight's game, which we will be live for. That's right, the Browns play football tonight, folks. Browns, Patriots, preseason finale. And I'm going to have some fun because Taylen Green's going to play. And so I'm going to go with the more on Taylen Green passing yards and rushing yards. I think he's electric, he's athletic, and I love more than 24.5 rushing yards for Taylen Green tonight. Also more than 92.5 passing yards. Could be a stretch, but why not? I want to root for him, so I'm going to pick the more on both of his picks. And then Drew Aller, I know he's a Steeler, but he grew up a Browns fan. He's got a big arm. I'm picking more than 95.5 passing yards for him against Buffalo. This was a bonus $5 lineup with a payout of $22.50. You can make lineups just like it. Prize Picks is really fun and easy to use. You just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. And I have a brand new user offer for you guys here at Prize Picks. Play your first $5, get $150 in lineups if you win. Just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right. Prize Picks just switched up their offers, so there's no better time to join. That's code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 lineup. CBS Sports continued on their reporting, and a source apparently said that all Todd Monken cares about is being in the best position to win. And that was the answer that Monken gave us, was he thought Deshaun gave us the best chance to win. Listen, I haven't seen that from watching Deshaun Watson play in Cleveland for 3 years, but I digress. Matt Zenitz has some more for us. He says, it's why there are even some around the NFL who wonder if Gabriel would be a better fit as Cleveland's backup, referencing things such as his work ethic and ability to function on short notice. Don't even bring that into the equation, okay? I sat here and I took those reports that you've already given us, but to say Gabriel should even be in the question over Sanders, get out of here. Shedeur's clearly the better quarterback than Dillon Gabriel. Their whole point is about the noise that having Shedeur as your backup brings to a team. I guess what? Jimmy Haslam doesn't care about that. In fact, I bet he revels in that. I bet that's part of why he took Shedeur Sanders. He wants the media attention, and he wants the jersey sales, and when Shedeur evidently gets in, he'll want the ticket sales. So, trust me, Browns ownership is not thinking about that part of this. However, CBS Sports says it shouldn't come as a surprise that the universal expectation around the league is the future of the Browns quarterback room is currently playing for a college team. And I have conceded on this. I do think this is the case now. I'm very confident the Browns will draft a quarterback in 2027, irregardless of what Shedeur Sanders does this year. The quarterback class is so good. The Browns have 2 first-round picks in that 2027 draft. They are sticking and picking one if they're bad enough, or moving up to get the one they want in that draft, be it Arch Manning, Dante Moore, whoever else. Let me know in the comments section if you think this is happening too. The percent chance the Browns draft a quarterback in the year 2027, what are you putting it at right now? On a scale of 0 to 100, give me the percent chance you think Cleveland is taking a 2027 NFL draft quarterback. Now for the part I've been burying towards the end of the show because it's Skip Bayless. Please trade Shedeur to the Falcons is the newest in Skip Bayless Hall of Fame bad takes. Is this a joke, Skip? I mean, Skip has been acting like the biggest Shedeur fan forever, and he wants to trade him to Kevin Stefanski's team, the guy who literally thought Dillon Gabriel was better than Shedeur, did not start Shedeur over DG? Is that a joke? You want him to go through that again? Everybody would hate it. Realistic Shedeur Sanders trade destinations that don't include the Atlanta Falcons would be the Arizona Cardinals, who do not have a quarterback situation figured out right now. The New York Jets, who also don't have a quarterback situation figured out right now. Both those teams starting 2 veterans and then would have to turn to their rookies. One of them, Cade Klubnik, being a 5th-round pick. I do think the Cardinals really like Carson Beck over there, though, so not sure I would say him. Then the Dallas Cowboys, I would say, make sense as well because Shedeur's home is in Dallas. There's the Dion connection. And then who's the owner of that football team? Jerry Jones, who is basically a richer Jimmy Haslam and loves to make splashes and headlines. Finally, interdivision trade. Does that make sense? Well, the Browns did trade their quote-unquote backup last year, Joe Flacco, to the Bengals. Would they trade Shedeur Sanders to the Steelers, who who have 1 year of Aaron Rodgers right now where Shedeur could learn from him and then maybe start in Pittsburgh. They already drafted Browns fan Drew Aller and Ohio State quarterback Will Howard. Something to consider. Don't think it's realistic. Don't think it's likely, though. And as you could see by those teams, right, there's just not many places where he would start. In fact, there's not any places that he could walk in and start right away. Cleveland was his best chance to start. It will be his best chance to start soon this year because of Watson's history, reputation, and, oh, by the way, animosity from the Cleveland Browns fan base. If he went to Arizona, he's not starting over Brissett week 1 because they've given Brissett a raise to be their starter, right? The Jets traded for Geno to start week 1. So he'd been in the same situation. And Cleveland, the way they've outwardly spoken to the public is, according to CBS Sports, nevertheless, at least for now, the Browns have indicated they're moving forward with Sanders as their backup quarterback. And it remains to be seen how badly Watson would need to struggle for Sanders to get an opportunity to replace him as Cleveland's starter. So all this to say, I do think that there's a very unlikely chance Shedeur Sanders is traded at this moment in time. Now, if a team comes calling, that totally changes, right? Because maybe the Browns would think about moving off of him if they don't have him in their future plans and they are drafting a 2027 QB. All right, but that's the latest on all of that. I will keep you posted when there are more developments, and especially if there's breaking news that this happens, I'll be the first one to give you guys a video with some analysis. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. It is totally free. I've been your host, Joey Donahue. I'll see you tonight for some Browns football.